I'm going to take a second to talk to you about underdogs.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly, Eagles, fly, Eagles on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly for the podcast. So it is Monday morning. It is Monday overreaction morning. I'm seeing a whole bunch of new videos out. I'm seeing a whole bunch of tweets, a whole bunch of articles. Everybody's going crazy. The world seems to be falling. The Philadelphia Eagles are 1-1. Now, I'm not that high. I'm not that mad. I really am not that mad. Yesterday, it hurt. It was tough. It sucked. But looking back realistically, it wasn't that bad of a loss. Some losses are not, all losses are not created equally, I should say. Like realistically, if you look at yesterday's loss, there was a lot to take from it that are good. Mostly on the defense. I think the offense kind of beat itself, but on defense, we look very solid. We look amazing on defense, in my opinion. I know you lose Brandon Graham. That's going to hurt a little bit, but this is why I said not to let go of Derek Barnett during the offseason when everybody was so hyped to get rid of Derek Barnett. Now, last game, this is something that kind of struck me. So last game yesterday against the 49ers, Josh Sweat played the least amount of snaps between all of our D linemen. Yeah, I think, well, at least our starting D linemen. He only played 32% of the snaps. Derek Barnett was around 45. So I know Josh Sweat just got that bag, but Derek Barnett is obviously an important piece to this puzzle to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Now, with him getting that unnecessary roughness, I feel like that's a every other week type thing with Derek Barnett at this point, which is getting frustrating. But the talent is there. If he can stay healthy, I think he's on the same path as a Josh Sweat. Now, I know they were drafted in totally different rounds. One was a first rounder. One was like a fourth, I believe Josh Sweat was. But that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, right now, all that matters is the production. And I feel like you get the same production out of both of those two. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. Shout out to Kerry. Yeah. He was just talking in Twitter about this. JC's, I can't talk. J Sub, I think J Cub, maybe, I don't know. Trying to shake this one off. Listen, this is one of those losses that you got to look at it. You got to take it for what it is, and you got to go from this and learn from this. I love that, Nick Sirianni took accountability for the mistakes in the red zone because they were mistakes. You got to take those 3 points. I love that Jalen Hurts took accountability for his, errors in the game. I love that this team knows what happened. They're not sitting here saying, oh, it was just a tough one. We're going to go back at it and do it all over again. There were obvious mistakes. Now, the biggest thing for me with this game, honestly, was I said this, going into the game, this was like my only fear for this Philadelphia Eagles team is if they went into this game trying to silence the fans. Now, last week, and I was one of the people saying it, we had, I think, 3.9 yards in the air of air yards, right? And I was thinking to myself, hey, is it a product of this offense? Is it because they don't want Jalen Hurts to throw it far? I heard a lot of different things. But realistically, for them to change up their game plan and to go deep as much as they did, that's just not you. That's just not in our bag. That's not who we are. So I feel like that's really what kind of threw this offense off track. I would have loved for them to just come out here and play their game. If the deep shots are there, take them. If they're not, then don't take them. It is what it is. There was about like 3 or 4 plays that could have been interceptions from Jalen Hurts just because they wanted to go deep. Now, like I said, I understand that the desire to want to go deep, and I understand the pressure that fans and media alike were putting on you to do that to kind of try and prove a point. But this was not the team. The San Francisco 49ers are not the team. I understand that their cornerbacks were a little bit banged up. They were playing decent. You know what I'm saying? They were giving up some plays, but they weren't letting you go over top. So it is what it is. Once you started realizing that, I think it was time to go back to your original game plan of, I don't want to say dinking and dunking, but just taking what the offense gives you. If you watch San Francisco, the second half of San Francisco, they did exactly what we were supposed to do all game. realistically, San Francisco offense is very similar to what our offense is and should be. And you won't see, San Francisco going, unless they have to, they're not going to go out here and throw bombs. That's just not in their DNA. That's not in their makeup. If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, we wanted to throw bombs. For some reason, we wanted to throw bombs. Even though the screens were there, the running game was getting going at certain points, and we just wanted to throw bombs. So I really put this, and I said this to Kara. Shout out to Kara. I said this to her. I put this on Jalen, and I put this on Nick Sirianni. At the end of the day, you guys run this offense. And I'm Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen doesn't get, he's not absent from this blame. He definitely gets some blame in this as well. But, I really do. I put this on Nick Sirianni, and I put this on Jalen Hurts. I have no way that I can sit here and talk junk about this defense. Were there plays, was that long drive that they got the 97 yards and got the touchdown that kind of basically ended the game? Was that tough? Of course. That sucks. You don't want to see that. But at the same time, you put your defense out on the field that much, man, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. So, like I said, I look at it from both sides. Like, look at the stats for Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's look at the stats for Jimmy Garoppolo. He went 22 for 30, which is ugly, right? But we're a bend do not break defense. That's what we showed in the first week. So 22 of 30 isn't really that big of a deal. What really is a big of a deal is that he didn't even get over 200 yards, 189 yards, 1 touchdown. Their run game was almost non-existent. I mean, you have 3 guys that 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 different guys that touch the ball. And I think that they barely made it over 100 yards of rushing. So, I mean, and then you look at the receiving outside of Deebo Samuel, which we knew Deebo Samuel was going to be a problem. And we knew that, George Kittle could be a problem as well for us. We held George Kittle to 17 yards. Our defense, like our linebackers were probably my biggest scare on this defense. And they proved me wrong. And I even said it. Davion Taylor needs to be on that field. If you watch that game, watch it back again. And I watched it this morning. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm still upset. But I rewatched it this morning. And if you watch the defense, man, Davion Taylor was there. When he was in the game, he was there at the ball. He found himself around the ball almost every time. So Davion Taylor is somebody I feel like he needs to be out on that field. Jannard Avery, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I was, very low on Jannard Avery the first week. He did a lot better. I will say that. This recent game, he did a lot better. So I'm not going to hate on him. But I think I really need to see Davion Taylor out there. I really do. I'll get to some of these comments. Shout out to Riff Ballin out here. He said, I'm kind of glad we lost so we don't go to Dallas 2-0 and overconfident. I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. Look, I think that, and I said this to Kerry too, I think we're going to go to Dallas and blow these boys out. I really do. And maybe not blow them out. That's maybe a strong word, but I think that we're going to go in there hungry as hell, and it's going to be a dogfight. Like, I do not see them. I really am excited for this game because just kind of like the San Fran game was a test for our offense. I think our offense stopped our offense. Like, their defense was not stopping our offense. We were making a bunch of dumb decisions that stopped our movements. So I really don't see Dallas's defense stopping us at all. I definitely don't see them stopping us at all. It's going to be interesting to see Micah Parsons at defensive end. He did a great job last year. I love Micah Parsons. It is what it is. So I'm going to keep looking. It is what it is. But he did well last week at the defensive end spot. So that's something to watch for. But I really, Landon Dickerson had a couple bad plays at right guard. You could tell when he came in, like, there was definitely, we were like, oh, there's a new right guard because he was on the floor a lot. But, after a little while, he got his bearings, I guess, and he did well. So I'm not too worried, man. I really am not too worried, bro. Definitely this team knows it messed up, and that's a huge step. Accountability. We've talked, shout out to Chaos, man. We've talked about accountability all year last year. That was the one thing. Well, not one thing, but that was one main thing that we talked about. We were talking about how accountability was missing from this team. So I agree. I'm glad that they're saying, they know what the hell's going on. I tell you what, Dallas defense is feeling itself, so we better get back to feeling ourselves, or it's back-to-back losses. Facts, we just have to be who we are. Be who you are. Be who you are. And that's a short pass game. That's a quick pass game. That's crossers. That's slants. That's RPOs. Go back to that. Go back to who you were week one. And I have no gripes about our offense against their defense. I think our offense will handle them well. We just beat ourselves. That's all we got to tighten up. Exactly. We definitely got to tighten up. And like I said, look, this is probably, there's no good losses. There's no moral victories or anything like that. But sometimes you got to get smacked in the face and you got to wake the heck up. And I think that this was that game. I think we got smacked in the face and I think it's time for us to wake up. So it is what it is. I mean, we had practice squad guys come in and ball out. We aren't the only ones to I mean, they did their thing, man. Did we blitz at all? We blitzed a little bit. Not enough, though. Not enough. We were, our D-line was getting there. That's the crazy thing. And their offense really didn't do anything to us. Like, I mean, 17 points is not that much in a football game, like, especially against a team like them. They put up 41 against the Lions. Now, I'm not comparing us to the Lions in any way, but I'm saying they have the ability to put on points and put them up in bunches, and we didn't allow that. Our offense just couldn't sustain a drive. Our offense just couldn't score. So that's really where it came down to. I felt that the defense got its heart ripped out when Graham went down. I get it. I guess so. I think it's just they were tired, man. Like they were out on that field for so long. Like the time of possession. So the time of possession was San Francisco 35 minutes, rounding up a little bit. And then the Eagles were 25 minutes. So they had almost 10. They had basically the ball for a whole quarter more than us. That one drive literally was the end of the game. I don't know how we didn't score on that Quez drive. That play calling was terrible, got plenty of weapons, and Greg Ward was on the field. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. We try to get too cute this whole game. That's what really pissed me off about this game is we try to be cute this whole game. We try to do all these, little fancy plays, try to go deep on almost every play. It felt like we try to be too cute. You have good running backs. You have a good offensive line. Use them. Win the game in the trenches. There was no reason for you to try to win the game by 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt like they were trying to go out there and win this game by 40. Like, you got to score first. They won the game because we didn't. Exactly. Yeah. Facts. Yeah, it was torture. It sucked. We forgot that we have tight ends yesterday. It's everything, man. It really was everything. You have to utilize your players, and it's only the second game, so it's not, you don't want to see that, but this is the first time that I saw that he was just, I don't know, I feel like they were stuck in what they want to do. I think that Sirianni has a nice idea of having plays for specific players, but I think there also has to be plays to help them improve where they aren't the best. Yeah, definitely. You got to get these guys open. I pray you're right. I think we're going to be fine. I really do think we're going to be fine. I'm not overreacting to this loss. I know a lot of people are out here like, we suck. These guys stink. I think it's one game. I think they got punched in the mouth. He got a little bit outcoached, and Jalen Hurts got outplayed at the end. It is what it is. Nick did his best Peterson impression. They need to bring Jordan Howard on. We needed him big time Sunday. Maybe I really don't think we did. I think if we had him out there, what he had done? Like maybe for that, the goal line thing. I really don't think we needed him. I think we just needed to call the right plays. All we need to do is activate Jordan Howard. That cute trick-ish won't get it done. Yeah, there was no reason to do that. Even if we had Jordan Howard, I mean, even without Jordan Howard, I should say, there's no reason to do that. Like, why would you, what's the point in doing that? You're just trying to be cute at that point, trying to get the team hyped for some reason. Yeah, it was a lot of small mistakes that if they can take this week to fix, we should go into Dallas a whole lot better. That's the thing. And now you've been here. Now you've been here as a team. Now you've been here. You faced adversity. Now what are you going to do? We're going to learn about this team. And realistically, we weren't going to go 17-0, guys. We were going to lose a game. Like, it is what it is. So, hopefully we just don't start a trend. Hopefully this isn't an every week thing now. Right, pound the rock. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. Definitely need Jordan Howard. I don't really. Why? I don't see the need for him. Like, I understand you want to pound, a guy that can pound the ball, but Miles Sanders can score on the one. Even Kenneth Gainwell can score on the one. Jimmy Garoppolo did a sneak on the one. Like, I don't really think you need. Jalen Hurts did a QB sneak on the one. So I don't think you needed Jordan Howard. You just needed to make better play calls, and he didn't. Exactly. They said it the first week. The only stat they should be worried about is wins and losses. But when you look at that game, it didn't feel like that. When you look at that game, it felt like they were trying to put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? And it worked with Quez Watkins. That was an amazing play. It could have worked with Jalen Reagor. Obviously, he stepped out. But other than that, it didn't work. It really didn't work. I don't know why you kept going at it. What's good, Troy? What's good? This was a defensive game. Usually the last team with the ball has the ball wins. Yeah, facts. I really do believe that this offense lost us this game. That's where I'm at. It is what it is. And I'm not mad. It is what it is. Like, they just lost us this game. The offense lost us this game. But it's okay. It's a learnable game. It was a winnable game. It's a manageable mistakes. I think that Nick Sirianni, like I said, got him punched in his mouth a little bit as a coach. He realizes what he did wrong, and it's time to fix that. At the end of the day, there's going to be other losses, guys. We're going to probably lose more games. It is what it is. Would I love to go 16-1? Of course. It's just unrealistic. Even if we're a great team, there's going to be more losses. So we have to learn from our mistakes. If we're not learning from these losses, then it really doesn't matter. If we go into next week and we do the same exact thing that we did this week, none of this matters. We left points out there for sure. We left a lot of points. Look, in the first half, at the very least, you should have had 3 field goals. And I'm counting the one that got blocked, obviously. But at the very least, you could say that you could turn some of those into touchdowns. It could have been 14-7. It could have been 17-7, depending on how you look at it. So realistically, we left a lot of points out there, man. That 9-minute drive deflated the defense, and it tired them out. And it's weird because if you look at that drill, it was basically a 2-minute drill with 5 minutes to go from Jalen Hurts. That's where we're good. That's where we're good, when you're just making quick decisions and you're getting the ball out of your hands. Like, that's when you're good. Jalen Hurts does not need to step back there and have plays that develop for 4 or 5 seconds. He doesn't need that. Let's just keep moving the ball. It's all about confidence. It's all about getting that consistent, staying ahead of schedule. And I just don't feel like we did that. We were just trying to hit bombs. After this loss, Trust Nick is not feeling the energy of a loss with Philly fans and media. He will definitely never lose because of his coaching again. That's what you got to hope for. You got to hope for that they take this and they grow from it. And that's it. As long as they grow from this, then we fine. We all right. It's not that big of a deal. We needed to run the ball. We definitely did. And even if it's not running the ball, if it's the, tight end screens, if it's the, Quez Watkins just doing a little bubble screen or something, like, those can be your running game. That's fine, but you have to do it. You have to bring, like, in the beginning of the game, I was seeing a lot of people on Twitter being like, oh, Nick Sirianni's play calling, he's just running the ball 10 times. But that's what you want to do. You want to bring those cornerbacks up. You want to bring those safeties up. And then the next drive, he's out here just throwing bombs. Like, that's not what you want to do. Like, slowly, methodically, we could have took advantage of this team, but it is what it is. It's the end of the season. It's far from the end of the season. We're gonna be all right. We have to stop leaving money on the table and start kicking field goals on 4th down, especially in close games, especially against good teams. That's 100% true, man. Like, look, I said it when it happened. Like, you got to take that 3. If he would have made it, cool. Even that 2-point conversion, what was the point? What was I get, like, the only thing that I can think of that was the point of getting that 2-point conversion is if you don't make it, you're still only down a 2-point conversion and a touchdown. So, and if you make it, then you can win the game with a touchdown. But why? What's the point? Play football. Like, don't try to be smarter than anybody. Just play football. Like, we weren't scoring enough, so you want to try and double down. Like, we made it, so cool, but like, that could have bit us in the butt. Like I said, Shanahan has coached 2 different Super Bowl teams. Facts. I mean, look, Shanahan is a head coach for a reason in this league. It wouldn't be Philly if we didn't immediately overreact. That's a big fact, Polly. That's a big fact. But no, I'm here to, talk people off their ledge. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, I really don't think that it's that big of a deal. And I might be underreacting. Is that a word? Is that even a word? I might not, be reacting enough, but I really don't feel like it's that big of a deal. I think that we needed something like this. Maybe not a loss. If we would have won this and still learned, I think that would have been nice. But sometimes you got to take that out, and for the major good. One game I'll compare this to, and this is me being a little bit overly optimistic, but one game I'll compare this to is when you go back to the 2017 season. You go back to that Kansas City game. It was a game just like this where we didn't run the ball. We were trying to hit bombs. We were trying to do stuff that just didn't make sense for our offense at the time and the team that we were going against. And we ended up losing that game, but we went on a run after that. We started playing better football after that. So I think, maybe we see something like that. I'm not saying it ends in a Super Bowl, but I'm saying we can maybe see something like that. Plus, we did no outside runs for real. How do you try to pound inside all game with speed, finesse backs? Yeah, facts. And Miles Sanders can run up the gut. Miles Sanders could definitely run up the middle, but I see what you're saying. And that goes back to the wide receiver screens. That goes back to even the not RPOs, even the options. If you're putting Nick Bosa on an island and he has to decide between Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, I like that. I like making Nick Bosa have to think, making him have to stop for a second and then read and react. You know what I'm saying? That gives you a little bit of a edge on this defense, and they just didn't do that. It seems like Hurts, when Hurts stands there, throws the deep ball, fine, but when he steps up, it's late. Yeah, I just think that most of those weren't there. If I'm being real, like if you look at like the Quez throw was perfect. The Quez throw was a perfect throw. I ain't even gonna say nothing about that. That was just a perfect throw. The Jalen Reagor throw, he was covered. Like he was covered. That was good coverage. The Devontae Smith one that he dropped was there was two of them that were almost interceptions. So realistically, I think he kind of forced a lot of these. If I'm being 100% honest, I think he forced a lot of them. I think Boston Scott needs to see the field. Gainwell is going to be good, but Scott provides a little more power and run through arm tackles. I agree. I'm kind of surprised that, why keep Boston Scott up here if you're not going to use him at all? I know he's they're using him for special teams, but I just don't get it. The man, has went crazy for our team before. I'm not really sure why he's just a special teamer right now. We got a number one wide receiver. Can we please use his ass? I'm sick of the BS. I think they were trying too hard to use him. Like, you got to just see what's there, man. Like, we can't play games through players. We have to play our games as a team. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts is a good player. Devontae Smith is a good player, but these guys aren't going to individually win us games consistently, at least. Obviously, there might be that one game that they go crazy and everything, but they're not going to individually win us games. We have to play the game that we are good at. And that game is short game. That game is screens. That game is running game. That game is using what we built, the trenches, using what we've built to our advantage. We lost 3 during the Super Bowl. Exactly. Yeah, I hate it. Now it's week 2. Everyone is overreacting. Yeah, it's still very early. The difference in Philly special was Trey Burton was on the field regularly when Gray were. Yeah, they knew something was weird. Something was up. And you don't do that on 4th down. I'm sorry. Like, it worked in the Super Bowl. Cool. But, bro, come on, man. You just don't do that. You just don't do that. I think we also play a bit more conservatively with Miles because we're afraid of getting him hurt. Possibly. Boston is a legit cap for Giants games. He is a Giant killer. Some people are blaming this game on Hurts. Are stupid. I'm at the end of the rope with this team. Not even mad. I'm just tired of the BS. What end of the rope? This is a whole new team. How long was your rope? We only had one game. That's what I'm saying. It's only one game. Some people, and I agree with you. It's not all on Hurts, but there is some blame to give to Hurts. And this is why I made my video that I made the other day talking to Eagles fans, telling you how to slow down on giving MVP trophy and everything to Hurts, because realistically, we still have to learn about him. He's going to make mistakes, as we saw today or yesterday. Yesterday, he made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If only we could have kicked those field goals on 4th downs. But if it was 5th, we'd all be drunk. Yeah, if it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk. Big facts. Look, I love. Because if you go back to when Doug Peterson was our coach, Had that been him, he would have been like, oh, I just trust, this is what I do. This is our team, blah, blah, blah. Like, my man's came out and was like, yeah, I made some mistakes. I called some dumb plays. I shouldn't have done that. I like that. I like that, Nick. Nick held himself accountable. I love it. This man said, yeah, my man's already, his rope is done, man. Hey, all Philly. So as far as Nick had one yesterday, I don't know when his is today, but I know injury-wise, BG's out for the year, Brandon Graham's out for the year, which that sucks, man. That really sucks, and we'll get into that. And then the for Brandon Brooks, I really don't know. I haven't seen yet. So if you guys know, please let me know. Just saying, I'm getting 2020 vibes all over again, just like how the offense looked. The offense didn't look nowhere as bad as 2020. The offense did not look nowhere as bad as 2020. This game can go down to literally bad play calling and bad decision making on our quarterback. But he also did not get. Let me make sure before I say that. Yeah, we didn't give up any. There was no turnovers or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? There was no crazy sacks that shouldn't have happened. I think Hurts played a good game. It just was a bad decision making. We shouldn't have been throwing the ball over top like that. It just isn't who we are. Kyler Murray winning MVP. He did his thing. I got him on fantasy, so I wouldn't be mad about that. Hurts did miss a few slants in the first half going for the deep ball, but the loss was not his fault. I'm not saying it's totally his fault. I'm saying he has fault. He has fault. Just like if anybody else was the quarterback, he has fault. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The Philly special need to get put up on the shelf. Teams catching on to it. Yeah, I really don't understand why they even did that. Let's make a statue for the Philly special and just never do it again. Defense made enough stops. The offense just didn't move the ball. Eventually, the defense going to give up plays. Exactly. That's 100% accurate. That's 100% accurate. And Ward should have ran it. I agree with that. It's fourth down. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to lose a couple yards? Like, yeah, you might as well try and run that in. Why is it a sin to blame Hurts? It's his sixth game. The man was short on some passes. Exactly. It's not. And I've said this before. It's not an indictment on Jalen Hurts one way or the other. Jalen Hurts is going to have some good games. Jalen Hurts is going to have some bad games. We have to just look at the positive and negative. Like I said, I do put blame on him for this game. I'm not putting it all on him, but I think that he has some of the blame that he has to shoulder. And I think he'll say that as well. But the thing is, I don't think it was a bad game from him. I really do think it was a bad game plan. And I just don't think they made the necessary adjustments quick enough. Because towards the end of the game, you saw them, switching up to the short passes, the quick passes, the quick, scheme type things. But they just didn't do it quick enough. So I still trust in Jalen Hurts. Just bad play calling. Yeah, it was. I'm really worried about Brandon Brooks. And I said, look, in the title, I said, these injuries might open doors. And I was mainly talking about Brandon Brooks. Landon Dickerson might be that guy at guard. He might be that guy at guard. I'm not going to sit here and say he did great yesterday. I'm not going to say that. But, give him next week, if he has to start, if he has to play a full game, if he goes into this week knowing he's going to be the starter against the Dallas Cowboys, I'm very interested to see how he does. Although we lost, I can say our secondary has been pretty good. Nelson has been holding his own. Kittle only has 17 yards. Next week will be a good one. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. 2020 did give us PTSD. The offense looked alive. The offense, they burst. They showed bursts. We just didn't win the red zone battle. We got there enough to win this game. That's the thing. We got in scoring position enough to win this game. We just didn't score. And that's kind of important, I guess, once you're trying to score. That Kayvon, I didn't like that call. I understand you're trying to save these guys, or help these guys not get hurt. But the running back put his head down. If the running back had his head up, he would have had to, Kayvon Wallace would have been putting his head and shoulders, towards the ball. So it would have been a fumble either way. So, I get it. It is what it is. The rules are the rules, but the play calling got cute at the Marianne. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I felt like they tried to get cute. They heard everybody talking about, oh, we only had 3-point whatever, air yards last year. We want to see bombs. Throw it up to Devontae and do this. And I think they let people get in their ear, and they did that. So I agree 100%. Colts quarterback Carson Wentz is dealing with an injury to not just one ankle, but both. Damn, he's having tests today to determine severity of the sprain suffered yesterday. That man cannot stay healthy, bro. That man cannot stay healthy. They should make him just sit out on the field, just like chill. Like, you don't even got to really do nothing. Like, find a position that he could just get 100% of the snaps. So we ain't got to worry about it. Yeah, the Philly special was a special moment for a team. Exactly, for that team. I think our corners played way too far off the receivers in the second half. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that, but it's kind of hard. We're a bend don't break type offense. So defense, excuse me. So, if you played up closer, Debo might have took you over the top. Like there's a lot of stuff that could have happened, but I agree. You got to kind of take those chances. I do love, and I know that it didn't work, you know what I'm saying? But I do love that fourth down that, ended the game right before the 2-minute warning. I love that we sent everybody. I love that because I was saying that I was watching it with my girl and I was like, listen, I want them to send the house here. I don't care. If they throw the ball right now, God bless them. You won the game. But send every single person. I don't care. And I love that aggression. I love to see it. So the 49ers are considered a top team, yet struggled against us. So there's upside to this loss. I'll put us up against anybody. I think that there's good and bad to take from this, man. I really do. I don't think it's that big of a deal that we lost. I mean, it sucks that you lose, but there's 17 games. This isn't college. You know what I'm saying? One loss doesn't define you. On the Philly special, after Greg Ward got the ball, there are only 2 wide receivers, and Hurts was the only one on the near side. Yeah, look, the Philly special worked when the Philly special worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to just retire that. The problem was not the deep ball. It was the play calling through and through. The Siri adjusted the second half, but too late. As soon as Devontae got that flag on Norman, we should have QB sneak to the goal line for a TD. I think it was the deep balls just because that's not our game. And we did a lot. We threw a lot of deep balls. Like, it's not like we threw 1 or 2. Like, we threw a lot. There could have been like 3 solid interceptions off of the throws that he did. And it was weird because even like the announcers were trying to like make excuses for almost interceptions. Like, no, bro, that was almost interception. Like, like Hurts made some risky throws yesterday. He made some very risky throws, and that's not who he is. Ryan Kerrigan is filling for Graham now, right? I think it's going to be more so Derek Barnett. I think they're going to move either DB over or Josh Sweat. I could be wrong. Ryan Kerrigan did play most of the snaps last game or yesterday when he went down, so he might be. I don't think so, though. I think that if I'm them, I'm putting DB on that side. Oh, in the last QB sneak, Jimmy G did. Time went down to 0. They should, yeah, facts. Some of these calls, the refs definitely didn't help us, but give me a win over 400 yards any day. We aren't Dallas. Facts. I don't care about Wentz, man. I don't care if our picks if I tied to him or not. Worry about home first. Well, I'm worried about home, but I definitely worry. I want that pick. What do you think we should do with Barnett? Start, bench, trade, LOL offer? Yeah, you got to start him now, especially with Barnett out. I said this before. I wasn't a fan of trading him. Like, yeah, I understand that. Look, that sucks. DB sucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not DB. DB doesn't suck. That penalty sucked. The unnecessary roughness, that sucked. And it kind of killed the game. And not kind of. It ended any hope that we had of coming back. But at the same time, he's productive. When he's out there, he's productive. So I think you have to keep him on this team, and you got to play him out there. I think we will be better against Dallas. Hurts did well under pressure. Yeah, I like our chances against Dallas. I don't think that they have a secondary. I don't think that they have anything on that defensive line that scares me. Micah Parsons did well his first time playing defensive end. But, my guy, you're going to be going against Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata. And Jordan Mailata did his damn thing against Joey Bosa. I don't care what nobody says. Let me double check. I don't think – how many did Joey have? Because I said yesterday, if Joey Bosa is held under 2 sacks, we got something. He had 2 sacks exactly. I mean, I'm not mad at that. He does. He I feel like every other day you hear unnecessary roughness from Derek Barnett. What does Jordan Howard have left? Are we all donning rose-colored glasses at his possible production? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why Jordan Howard is where he is right now. I don't get how he fell out of the graces, but I also don't understand why everybody thinks like he's going to be some savior to our running game. We just don't run the ball enough, in my opinion, to be honest. Yeah, it's true. DB will be a great choice. Shout out to my guy KJ. KJ, I don't know why I was going to say KJ Sticker. I was going to call you Sticker. But shout out to my guy KJ with the $2 super sticker. I appreciate you, brother. Milton Williams played a lot, so he was their number 3 defensive tackle. So it went Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave. I think it was 50-45, and then I think Milton Williams had like 30% of the snaps as that third guy. So, and Jimmy G was moving before the snap, either call offsides or delay a game's refs did do some funny stuff. Refs suck though; they always suck. What's good, Carlos? What's good? Yeah, one of them was on Jack Stoll. So that's what I'm saying, man. Shout out to Jack Stoll. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you would ever put Jack Stoll on Nick Bosa, but that's what they did. So shout out to my guy. But hey, I like what we got in Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata looks real. Jordan Mailata had a couple plays that he got beat and still didn't allow a sack. That's how you know you got a good left tackle. I'm very concerned about Dallas. They didn't look too bad on defense. They didn't. I mean, I thought that the Chargers were going to be a way better offense, to be honest. And they put up 20 against 2 defenses that, in my opinion, haven't been that great. I mean, like, you know, Dallas did it all right. I don't know. I'm not really too worried about them. Either way, we go with the picks. Yeah, 2 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders. I still want 3 first-rounders, but we straight. Oh, facts. Yeah, facts. We straight up either way. And we watching, you know, Miami. We still on Miami watch. Miami lost the game yesterday, and they lost Tua. That's a huge loss. So if they stink up the place for the rest of the season, boom, that's a top 5 pick right there, possibly. Who knows? Don't worry, my Cowboys defense isn't that good. Did Derek Barnett mention anything in his post-game press conference about the point? I didn't see it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I did not see it. But we should have Randy Gregory back. He'll probably smoke a J before the game and get kicked out again. I ain't worried about him. I'm definitely not worried about him. But either way, man, I just wanted to come on here, talk a little bit. I'm going to come back on later tonight, and we're going to do like a call-in probably. So, yeah, I know this is mad early. I'm usually not up to, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody that came through, rocked with me. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. And I'm going to do a video in a little bit. But other than that, y'all know what it is. It's Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out shit. Peace.
B. Scott with the Philadelphia
John
Eagles.
Dornbos here of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Edwards of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Follow my guy Joe Castro on his YouTube/podcast channel.
Let's give a shout out to the Philly podcast.
And shout out Philly and my guy Joe Castro. So keep on doing great things, guys. Fly Eagles Fly.
Fly Eagles Fly.
Go Birds.